I don't probably see world peace as starting with me, but I believe in just basic respect for people and a sense of fair play, doing the right thing by your fellow man as well as you can, looking after people less fortunate than you. But it also, I believe, means sticking up for yourself when people are doing the wrong thing by you, so that you don't get tromped all over. So, yeah, and I think by doing that, by being fair to other people, you have more people dealing in a fair way with each other. So I don't know whether that impacts on world peace, because I don't interact with a lot of other communities other than their community, but I believe just that sense of fair play and sense of what you believe is right and wrong is an important part of it, and having a sense of that allows you to be, I guess, well, to see that in others in other communities. So that, and I suppose in Australia we're pretty lucky because we are reasonably wealthy and healthy, and we don't have to struggle to feed ourselves and all that. So we've probably got a bit of a different perspective than communities where that isn't the case. Because I think if my kids are starving, you'd take some pretty irrational steps too, probably, like you see some other people doing. But I still think you can do that without, they're still being reasonably fair within your community, whatever you've got. Probably uphold those sort of values, the respect for the other person. I think I like to see when Australia spends its tax money, or the money that it collects through the wealth that's created in this country, and use it in good ways for other people. And I think sometimes you do have to make hard decisions and stick up for what you believe in, particularly where you see that, I guess, where you see that people are being wronged, but I also think that in some instances that gets a bit coloured, if you like, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in Africa and nations and even some Asian nations and things that we don't seem to get involved in, yet we do in the Middle. We've been pretty involved in the Middle East for years, and there's probably lots of countries around where that need help that we don't get involved in. So I don't know how they make those judgments, but I guess pretty hard to help everyone with what we got. But yeah, I certainly appreciate when they do that. I also appreciate people who give their own time or do that as part of their careers, like military people. Because you see, I think it's good to see, when you see Australian soldiers and that in countries where they help people, and build schools and help repair bridges and stuff like that, doing stuff that impacts directly on those communities. I think that's, and they seem to have a pretty good manner about them, about how they go about it. Like they seem to engage well with communities rather than use sort of strong arm tactics all the time that you see some other people doing. So I think they represent us pretty well over there. But I think a lot of that directly impacts more than what I do, but because I'm only restricted to here. But you can see those people using a lot of the values that we hold pretty strongly over here to help us. We, as in what, me, as in
like
Australia.
How can we achieve? How do you think we can achieve world peace?
Well, I guess I think because of human nature, where humans are competitive and humans, certain people want all the resources. What's about, it's pretty hard to achieve world peace because at any one time you have different opinions and different views, and some people are prepared to fight and die for their views, whether we believe in them or not. So no matter how sort of responsible or how and how fair-minded we are. And I suppose we're, you know, in our mind we're being fair-minded, but other people mightn't think we are, you know, because we're sitting here with a lot of stuff, so, you know, a lot of resources and healthy and well-fed, and we don't have too many problems, or some people have problems, but in comparison to some of the overseas country, they're not huge. So, so I think no matter what, you're always going to have elements. You're going to have the basics for conflict, because people. That's the nature of people. Someone will, if you got something, someone else will want it more. So in terms of what we can do, I think is to pretty much promote our values whenever we can, and particularly whenever we deal with anything. I think being part of the you know, international community, I think helping, offering people who come to this country a, you know, chance and opportunity. Most of them that come here, they tend to work their butts off to get ahead, as you know, as ancestors and all that sort of stuff did when they first got here. So I think giving people an opportunity, giving them the respect when they are prepared to, you know, live by the law and values and stuff like that, I think all of that helps. It promotes a sense of value of fairness in societies, I think. So, you know, in terms of what Australia does, I think varies what level you're at as to how much impact you can have, but I think those sorts of things, making sure you're pretty fair with how you deal with people. And hopefully that spins off with other people following your example, or being prepared to understand and respect each other. Hopefully that has spin-offs, you know, with how you raise your kids and being fair-minded, teaching them the difference between right and wrong and that sort of thing. So that hopefully when they grow up, they espouse those values, you know, like, and you get lots of, I think, even through schools and education and community, you know, how people operate in communities and through schools and things like that, where you espouse those sort of core values. I think that has an impact in how people live and react to others, potentially globally, I guess, as they all spread out over generations, you know. Yeah. That's what I think anyway.